Hey everybody, welcome to the Urban Purpose Virtual Banquet. So for the last 2 years, we've been able to gather together, but for obvious reasons, this year that was not possible. So we're very thankful that you were willing to take time out of your evening to sit and be with us. We wanted to thank our sponsors that made tonight possible: Marathon, C.S. Beatty, Creature, and Chad and Patty Hackwood. We're so thankful that even in these times, they were willing to support us and partner with us in tonight's banquet. Tonight's theme verse is Luke 15, 3-7, and it's all about how Jesus leaves the 99 to pursue the one. So over the next 20 minutes, we're going to show you some stories about men and women that we've worked with over the past few years that have had their ups and their downs. And we believe that in their downtimes that they are still worth pursuing. And now we'll go to Mark with a ministry update.
So at the very beginning of 2020, we celebrated 10 years of Urban Purpose being in existence. And it's pretty crazy to think back of all that God has done since those first days under the bridge, meeting those guys when Jim and I used to go down there, and then see how things have progressed since then. It's really a testament of God's grace in our lives, and also through all of you guys that support us in making everything that's gone on possible. And so early in 2020, things were going like normal, right? And things were progressing. 2019 had been one of our best years in terms of financial support, and things were moving in a great direction in 2020. And then coronavirus came along, and like all of us, it disrupted, or like all of you, it disrupted a lot of our plans. And so we had to step back and really think through how a ministry that's based on building relationships and being around people and getting to know them, what do we do? Because we had to shut the compound down. We were uncertain and just obviously uneasy about allowing people into that space, and getting to, going out to eat lunch with people and getting a cup of coffee and doing those things that we normally would do to build relationships. Those things are stripped away. And so we were thinking, we're not just going to shut down. We're not going to stop doing the work. And so what do we do? And like most of you know, we've done a Sunday meal pretty much every Sunday for the last 10 years. And so one way that we decided to maintain connection and do more on the streets for our friends down there was we started doing meals, not just on Sunday, but also throughout the week, Monday through Friday. So sometimes they were sack lunches and sometimes they were cooked meals, but we would literally mask, glove up, and drive around to various locations around downtown where we knew some of our friends stayed, and different people were there, and we'd give them a meal. We'd also give them bottles of hand sanitizer at the time, because people obviously were being pushed to wash your hands and stay hygienic and all that kind of stuff. And if you're living on the streets or under a bridge, it's not like sinks are in abundance. And so we thought, how do we meet that need? How do we help our people stay healthy and stay safe? And so bottle up small bottles of hand sanitizer, give those out with the meals. And it was still just a way, even though it wasn't the same, it was still a way to say, you're not forgotten. You're not lost on us. We still want to be a part of your life. And even though it's 6 feet away and we'd set the meal down and they'd come get it, it was weird, but it still maintained that connection. In recent weeks, we've been able to reopen the compound on a pretty limited basis. We check temperatures as people come through the door, require masks while they're inside. We don't let anybody in the kitchen like we used to, keep everybody distanced, but it still resumes some bit of normalcy where they can come in and wash clothes, take a shower, sit down and get a cold bottle of water while they watch a movie, something to just refresh themselves, get out of the heat. And we can just open that back up to them and give them that space. And so as we think about where we're heading from here, one of the things that we were talking about earlier in the year before all this happened was we've been eyeing purchasing a compound. We've been in this space. This is our 4th year in the space. And so we had been looking like, what does it look like to move into a permanent location? We had our eyes on a few spots that we thought would be viable for us to purchase. And we also had been talking about, we have a women's home, and we've been talking about what it would look like to own a piece of property like that we could have for our women's home, and then maybe an additional one for a men's home. And so that was really on our radar coming out of such a successful 2019, thinking about where do we go from here in terms of property and having those spaces that are our own. But with COVID and all the disruptions that caused there, we thought it would be wise to kind of scale back a little bit and just kind of wait and see how things progress and see how things are looking towards the end of the year and as we come out of this. But those are still things that are on our radar and things that we want to pursue. And so we're hopeful that with the support that we raised tonight, through other fundraisers, the end of this year, that we'll be in a position next year to look forward to making those purchases and doing those things that we know have a tremendous impact on our people. And so we're thankful for you guys to be with us tonight and to learn a little bit more about those things and what's going on. And so now you're going to hear some stories from a couple of guys that we've worked with over the years and known for a really long time, and about the exciting things that God's been doing in their life.
My name is Tim Dow. I'm a friend of Urban Purpose. I'm here to help you serve. I'm at the Firehouse Ministry on 2nd Avenue. I've been staying there since the pandemic. I've been there like since March 15th. Been helping them for a while now, for the past 5 months. We started out providing like meals each day, sack lunches and cold water. Being around Mark, Jim, and Rachel, man, is like good, everyday good. They just want to like build a relationship with you. They certainly have built one with me, and even when I, was going through hard times and when in a good situation, they always was encouraging to me and always was there for me. Sometimes I help Rachel, we have to prepare the meal, like for us cooking it, going and picking it up, cooking it, also boxing it up. Right now, I'm just helping them like in a way that they need done right now. It's like, I'm like available to it. Well, Mark, Jim, and Rachel, you've been very inspiring to me, and I got the opportunity to say thank you publicly, and I'm taking it, and I just want you guys to know you guys mean so much to me. Thank you for everything that you have done, all the help you had provided, for not just for me, but for everyone, and I just want to thank you for it.
I'm alone. I'm in a bad spot. I don't have anyone else to call or anywhere else to go. They're there whether things are good or things are bad. There's no doubt, that I know they have my back. I failed a lot, in a lot of my attempts to get my life together, but, they planted a seed, that over time grew to where I finally, started making some progress. All three of them have been there for me in their own way. It's like having 3 different perspectives. It's like having 3 different people that I know I can count on. If like what they told me and how all the work and help they gave me, my life wouldn't be like that today without their help. So, Mark, Jim, and Rachel, I would like to personally thank you for everything you've done over the years. It's been awesome, and I hope that we can keep this relationship going.
Tim and Andrew are representative of everybody we work with, because it's never a straight line with anybody's life. When I think of Tim was very easy to get to know, because Tim is a people person. He loves people. He thrives on helping others and serving. Over the years, we've seen his heart and his mind change from stubbornness to a place of being willing to listen. Tim has some stability in his life now. Not 100%, but you can see him recognizing that these things, like having a roof over your head and having a job and being able to have a checking account and manage your money well, that those things matter. When I think of Andrew, first and foremost, I would say, is a very, very hard worker. Really believes in getting his hands on things and doing the job. I remember Mark and I had many conversations. We would meet with him weekly, if not twice a week. And so if these are the things you want, this is not the way to go for these things. And I even talked about spiritual things with him on a regular basis, and talking to him about Jesus and what Jesus offers us to have a relationship with him. And it was years, like 6 years of doing that, before the Lord touched his heart and brought him to him. Helping to people that are struggling and in a difficult spot seems to me to be about their insides and who they are. And that's where people miss the mark. They think, oh, well, I gave you a pair of shoes, or I gave you a shirt, or I helped you with lunch, or whatever the case may be. Those things are important and do need to be there, but those are not where it really is. So let's just take Tim and Andrew for a second. We've been working with these guys for 9 and 10 years. Is loving people easy? No. Is loving people clean? No. I mean, it's just consistency. And if I've seen anything in our team over the years, it's a consistency that we continue to pursue. And so we never let up on that pursuit.
Back in February, we began to film a video of a good friend of ours and a girl that we've worked with for over a year and a half at this point. We met this girl in November of 2018 after being in a really rough spot in her life, and she was ready to get her life back on track, and luckily we were able to help her with that. So right after she'd come out of prison, we moved her into our women's transitional home, and we were working with her and fighting to get her son back in her life and getting the court system kind of moving past everything that she had gotten herself into. And that included taking drug tests, and she had passed all of her drug tests. It included going to rehabilitation classes Monday through Friday. It included getting a job, going to parenting classes, getting a car, having a stable place to live. All of these things that she did, and she did so well. We were so proud of her, and we were able to walk with her through every step of this and provide her with counseling and medical help and all these things that we all need to survive and do well. And then coronavirus happened. And so as it interrupted all of our lives and disrupted all of our lives, it did so to her as well. The isolation because of COVID was crushing. We couldn't be with her and process through all of these things that were happening as much. She lost visits with her son, and she could no longer visit with her counselor in person, and her work schedule got changed, and everything in her life got flipped upside down, just like it did for a lot of us. But with everything that has gone on in her life in the past, these situations just became overwhelming. We actually found out a few weeks ago that she had relapsed. And so now we're not able to show you the video and show you how excited she was of the progress that she had made and the direction that her life was heading, and how excited we were for her. But this happens with people that we work with a lot of men and women that we walk with. There are a lot of ups and there are downs. And so now we try to figure out where to go from here with her. We believe that she is worth fighting for and that she is worth pursuing, and that's what we will continue to do.
Tonight, you've had the opportunity to hear about some really cool things that are going on in Tim and Andrew's life. And you've also just heard the story we told about the young lady we're working with that's relapsed and is really struggling right now. And to be honest, their lives are representative of basically everybody we work with. There's highs and there's lows. There's victorious moments, and there's just moments that can sometimes be really sad and really depressing, make you want to throw your hands up. But we don't throw our hands up because we know where hope comes from, and we have hope for each individual we work with. We believe in second, third, and fourth chances because we know we've been given that. We know that Christ has done that in our lives, and we know that they're worth fighting for because they bear the image of our Creator, that they have worth and they have value. And so even in those dark moments, we continue to fight because we always know that it's worth it. And we want to see this young lady come to a point where she's talking 4, 5, 6 years from now about her struggle, about her past, but about the amazing things that are going on in her life. And we truly believe that can be the case. And so with everybody we work with right now, they're having a tough time. I mean, everybody's lives, yours, mine, everybody's lives have been disrupted over the last 5 or 6 months with what's going on. And their lives are tough in a normal situation, but when you layer this stuff with coronavirus on top of it, it's made their struggles that much more amplified. And they're struggling with isolation, with not being around good people, disruption of routines, all the stuff that goes with that. It's even more amplified in their lives. And so hopefully in the near future, as we begin to come out of this situation, their needs are going to be even greater. The needs for more mental health care, more stable housing, more good relationships and people to surround themselves with, those things are going to be even greater. And so we're asking for you to join with us tonight and make a financial contribution to Urban Purpose so we can provide that stability to our people. And so you can do that at our website at urbanpurpose.org/donate. You can make an online contribution, or there's instructions there for where you can send a check-in. And by joining with us, you're making an impact to the lives of people that are most vulnerable all over Birmingham. And we thank you for that. We thank you for considering that. And we just want to tell you how much we appreciate you taking time out of your night to join us for what's not really a normal banquet, but This is what the time's called for, and we thank you for taking time out of your night to join with us and hear more about what's going on in our city through Urban Purpose. And we hope to see you guys soon.